Fala aí galera, beleza? Espero que sim, vamos para o react da final do campeonato da Rússia, valendo $1 milhão, moleque. Eu falei esses dias pra vocês. Infelizmente os jogos acontecem muito rápido, diferente de uma MPL, então fica até difícil de trazer pro canal. Mas estamos na final já, moleque. BREN versus ONIC. É o mesmo confronto que aconteceu no último Mundial de Mobile Legends. São as brabas da atualidade, né, rapaziada? Então, por gentileza, se você deixar um comentáriozinho, um likezão, dar uma compartilhadinha pra ajudar as estatísticas, super agradeço. E live todos os dias aí na parte da noite, né, rapaziada? Grupos abertos a todos, diamantes mais baratos e redes sociais, tudo na descrição, belezinha? E aqui, ó, Bonox possível comprar com meu link, super agradeço. Belezinha, belezinha? React são demorados, né, rapaziada? Então prepara um lanche, fica comido, ai! E prepara uma água, galera. Às vezes é um momento importante do seu dia, da sua noite, para ingerir água, meu parceiro, sabe? Muitos de nós acabam não bebendo água, né? Então, meus lindos, tá bom? Bebam água. Ainda mais você aí tá tomando creatina, você tá mijando escuro, você aí tá dando muita bunda. Então beba água. Enfim, vamos lá, rapaziada. Eu nunca entendo os pick ban desse trem aí, mas os bans são Joy, Ruby, Guinevere, do outro lado, Thomas, Xborg, Upvels, o Brody Clinton, a Matilda e também o Frams, tá bom? Aí de um lado ali temos o Heritão, aí esses picks são tudo bagunçado, né, velho? Eu não compreendo direito não, então simbora. Rapaz, eu peguei 2 litros d'água, já devo ter tomado metade, né? Botar meu celular pra carregar aqui, rapaziada, porque temos um bom chão pela frente, né? E você que pulou o início do vídeo aí, seu corpo. Já deixou o comentário, um like pra nós. E bebe água. Bora lá, um Minão focando mais além do Heritão. Belezinha, belezinha. Ó, o Warlock já chegando, dando uma chupiscada ali no Herit. Uma rotação ali, ó, curiosa. No qual o Warlock tá level 2. E agora que pega level 2 aí, o Heritão e o Mino, hein?
I think it's definitely going to be a battle of wills here. I'm excited to see this EXP lane as well, man. Like, how is Boots? I think obviously
Fredrinzão todo marrento. Deixa eu abaixar um pouco a voz dos gringos da minha orelha aqui. Tá estralante, moleque. Bora lá, rapaziada. Então temos ali um blusão lindo, maravilhoso contra Cici. Se bangando, se lascando, o nome dela é Cici. Que? O nome dela é Cici, se fudendo. Também temos ali o Fredrin do lado e Nolan do outro. Ó, Vexaninha, rapaz. E o Warlockzinho ali na play maluquinha. Temos ali a Novariazinha também, Claudinho, Heritão. A tartaruguinha nasce. Meu hand grip está quebrado. Inclusive eu tenho que jogar ele fora. Aqui. Mas eu tenho uma gira-ball, mas não dá pra usar enquanto coisa. Já brincaram com isso já, rapaziada? O bagulho é louco, filho. Ó o Glu. O Glu dando uma sarrada gostosa ali. Fez a playzinha novamente. O Gluzão deu uma boa bagunçada ali junto com a Vexana.
Onto 2 members, Boots trying to steer him away, but now Kyle Teasy making the move onto the purple buff and gonna steal that away.
Beleza, agora estão focando a Cici. Minão taca ela pro alto, o Glu dá ali um combas e o Nolan finaliza, rapaziada. Começa com tudo o time da BREN. Girou boa, rapaziada. Então pra quem não quer ter de knit, pulso, fortalecer dedos, antebraço, super recomendo. É tão bom quanto um hand grip, tá bom? Eu uso já faz alguns meses e recomendo. Apesar que eu acho o hand grip mais prático, né? Mas é boa também. Como eu trabalho com computador, essas coisas, né? Eu tenho mó medão, tá ligado? De ficar com dor, essas coisas. Rapaz, já leva a primeira torre ali, o time da BREN. E o Glu monta na Cici, comba com o Nolan e finaliza, hein? Rapaz, o Gluzinho comendo o jogo, rapaziada. Cara, acho o Glu muito legal de jogar. O Glu é muito tops. Inclusive, eu acho que assim, por mais que tenha lançado a Bé, o Paquito, que eu acho personagens muito legais, o último herói que lançou, assim, que me empolgou mesmo no game, que fez eu focar o game, mano, foi o Glue, cara. O lançamento do Glue, acho que na S17 pra ali, S19, algo em torno disso. Eu joguei bastante aquela temporada ali com ele, viu?
They've already taken all the gold plating and the tower, which is what really is scaling them right now. If AP is able to keep this up, ONIC is gonna have to find a response. And I feel like, again, the response is gonna come down to Keyboy's positioning, and we can already see the burn.
Rapaz, o Nolan tá forte pouco.
That's disgusting, bro. This is looking a little rough.
O time da ONIC por enquanto só fome, né, rapaziada? A diferença de farm é 3 mil de ouro, né? 3 mil de ouro em pouco mais de 4 minutos. E já não clica o time da ONIC, né, em nenhuma lane. A diferença de level tá bacana ali pro Nolan, ele tá level 9 contra 7, vão levando mais uma torre. A ONIC vai deixar a torre cair.
Again, it could be anybody's game, but the snowball effect is definitely in place for AP BREN.
Yeah, this is the BREN effect at its
O time da BREN, eu acho que agora vai tentar meter um invade, algo do tipo.
Man, and they're just, I mean, it's like, because here's the thing, they can always switch it up, man. They can either completely dominate you in laning phase, or they can take a slow approach. They are the best of both worlds. They have the discipline of the Philippines, but the aggression of several other hungry regions out there. They're willing to take things slow if they need to, or they're willing to be in your face at all times, and you just never know what AP BREN you're gonna get.
It is true. It is true. I mean, they definitely bring out the difference in a game. We can kind of take a look at some of the items. A Hunter Strike already secured.
Tem muito o que dizer, né, galera? O jogo tá bem dominadinho aí pela BREN. O time da ONIC joga só no safe, no contra-ataque, né? Eles estão evitando conflitos. Porque a Novari entra um pouco, ela demora um pouco a entrar no game, né, cara? É difícil. A maioria das vezes o time da Novaria sempre sofre um pouco no early game, né, cara? No caso agora estão sofrendo muito, mas enfim, né?
I mean, one good thing going for ONIC right now is Albert and Sans have not taken a death yet. Yes, there's 2 kills on the boots. Not huge. We've seen CC still scale, even with a few deaths on it. And 2 on to Keyboy. So Kyrie, Albert, or Sans, if they can keep up this pace, they can kind of slow play this and look for an opening later on. But it's going to be a little while until
Bluezinho fazendo front, tirando o Fredrin da jogada.
Yeah, and I mean, that snowball effect is just in
Um snowball lascada, tartaruguinha ali novamente na mão da BREN. E a ONIC não consegue nada, cara. Mas tô bem feliz de ter visto um Glue, viu, velho?
We'll see. Again, building off of what you were saying, Albert not dying is still a good thing. You got 4,600 gold versus 5,600 gold, 1,000 gold difference between the gold lanes, and the Hearth is just only going to scale from this point onwards. You only can see a corrosive sights being picked up by Albert, and to be honest, everybody is lacking items. Everybody's just got like pieces. Right now on the side of ONIC, they're
getting what they can right now. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. They're just, it's like a puzzle piece. They're trying to put something together, but we'll have to wait until about the 10 to 11 minute mark for it to finally.
Rapaziada, tem muito que comentar não, né? Tá uma coisa tipo, né? Tô olhando no celular aqui, o pessoal conversando no grupo. Ou depois as redes sociais.
He could maybe switch up and go for one first, but I think he's going to lock in DHS before that. We'll see. He had the Vampiric Mallet or whatever it is in. So both, I mean, they're definitely on the slow pace. Sans has the book in. It's not going to really give damage yet. They definitely need another another item in. And by the time they get that item in, AP BREN will already have their third in. So, I mean, it's a little bit of trouble, but Ogwen taking a little bit of damage.
O Mino recuou ali. Ainda tem ult, né? Mas ele deu uma isoladinha. O Blue agora a ulta recua. Rapaz, o Nolan deu até uma tirada de onda ali.
AP BREN not able to cause the damage they wanted to. ONIC able to turtle up very well.
Definitely, and the first Lord coming down. I feel like this could be a turning point that if they were...
Vamos ver se a BREN, mesmo com essa imensa vantagem, provavelmente vão fazer o Lorde. Vamos ver se eles vão conseguir dar GG tranquilo com o primeiro Lorde, né? Porque jogando solo, eu reclamo muito que a gente não consegue dar GG e acaba perdendo, sei lá, 50%. Pelo menos 50% das partidas a gente acaba perdendo de virada, velho. Simplesmente porque não consegue dar GG, sabe? Mesmo partidas que a gente tá amassando. Olha o Blue como tá acabando com o Arlott, cara. Não deixou ele clicar, ele ainda é finalizado. E vamos ver esse PT aí, ainda mais com a diferente farm 10k, tem tudo pra dar GG a BREN logo com esse primeiro Lorde, hein? Vamos ver se vai acontecer.
ONIC, what do they really need to do? I feel like they have the ability, they have the heroes needed to mount up a defense here, and I feel like that is what they need to do. Again, they're playing passive, not losing the key. The Claude's not going down. Albert staying alive. Kyrie staying alive. Again, the only person that's fallen has been Boots. But again, they're going to have to get some type of kill here as it's 5-0 and the gold lead is just, it's just going up from here.
Yeah, good call by Sans there. Sends a Meteor to check that bush and finds Kyle Teasy, forcing him back a little bit. Flap Teasy under the towers, though, taking a lot of hits to the face. Okay. A lot of damage on Ogwen as well. ONIC not to defense of the Appraiser's Wrath. Finally puts a kill.
Mina finalizado. O Harris tá batendo bem ali. E é isso aí, rapaziada. É o que eu falo, tá vendo, mano? Com uma diferença de 10 mil de ouro. Com Lorde, super tropas. Não conseguiu nem levar o Mate 3, velho, o time da BREN, velho. Então é o que eu falo, mano. Eu falo em live que, mano, se o time competitivo, o melhor time do mundo, com 10k de diferente farm, Lorde, Super Minis, não consegue dar GG, mano, como que um bando de Zé Ruela de uma ranqueada extremamente nível baixo vai conseguir aproveitar as vantagens, sabe? Então é o que eu falo, mano. Pra mim, o Mobile Legends quer acertar isso aí, sabe? Aí os caras falam, ah, mas o jogo é voltado pro competitivo e tal. Ah, mano, beleza. Eu super compreendo esse ponto de vista. Só que se a comunidade, a grande esmagadora massa de players joga de maneira casual, coisa do tipo, que se lasca o competitivo? É porque eu sou streamer, mas eu imagino que você aí, que é um player que tá com o saco cheio de passar por esse cenário, você quiser largar o game, você não vai pensar e falar, não, vou largar o game não, porque o competitivo, sabe? Então, não sei, eu acho que isso é algo muito maçante no Mobile Legends, cara. Então, é o que eu falo, é o que eu acabo enaltecendo o Honor of Kings, o Wild Rift, né? Os objetivos do game são bem melhores. Os dragões são muito melhores. Então, ó aí, o AP BREN não conseguiu dar GG. Não tem o que fazer. E tem que ficar esperando o Lorde nascer. Aí demora pra caramba o Lorde nascer, sabe? E nisso, mano, você só fica ali enxugando gelo, sabe? Não, agora que tá acontecendo alguma coisa. Heritão batendo gostoso, deslizando gostoso. Minão falece de um lado, falece 2 do outro. O Lorde vai ficar com a BREN. E vamos ver se a BREN agora dá GG com esse Lorde, né? Porque é um time profissional, o melhor time do mundo, uma imensa diferente de farm, vamos ver se eles conseguem dar GG. Porque muitas das vezes
Navaria has the burn, has the damage, and we can kind of see CC picking up the War Axe as well.
Vocês me dão licença aqui que eu tenho que responder o zap aqui, porque... Pois é, né?
That they need to counter AP BREN, so it's just a matter of that AP BREN has just put so much pressure onto ONIC. Can they keep this defense up? Can they keep their castle alive?
I mean, if any team can defend with a 12,000 gold deficit, it's definitely ONIC. But I don't think AP BREN wants to let it happen. Keyboy falls. Kyrie might just be
E não deu um bom engage. Um head está quase finalizado, conseguiu recuar. Lord level top. Blusão vai tancando horrores, muito HP, ainda dá uma boa regenerada. Conseguiu dar o GG, rapaziada, também, velho. A diferente farm tava enorme, né, rapaziada? Primeiro jogo, sem gracinha, né, velho? 1 a 0 pra BREN aí, nem clicou, então simbora. Vapo. Bora lá, rapaziada, beleza? Foramão, Mido, Matilda, Bandidos, Bruninho, Clintão e Novaria. Do outro lado ali, Xbork e Fredrin. Nolan Joy, belezinha? Os picks são esse aí, ó. Guinezinho do lado, Cici Cloud do outro. Rubyzinha Carry. Aí é meio bagunçado esse trem, né? Vapo.
This episode, as we see, stop laughing.
Tell me about the win conditions, G.
All right, ONIC here. What we have, right? The Guinevere. I feel like if they're able to utilize the Guinevere's just
Ninja top lineup. Lapão contra Cis. Carryzinho e Cloud. Naninha Vexana. Nossa, que tristeza, né? A Vexana brotando tanto competitivo e na ranked, cara, o que eu vejo de Vexana perder, velho. A galera faz essa buildzinha de livre tempo corrido, pelo amor, viu? By the side of AP BREN, again, I think if they just keep up the aggression, keep up the farm, keep it going, that they have the claw to secure the late game. They have a solid CC with the heavy spin combined with the Vexana. Just control the overall team fights. Don't get caught off guard, though, because ONIC has the CC in the control. Naninha que tá com o poke bem rápido, tentou meter um combo ali com a Guinevere e quase acertou.
That's a little rough right there. That's a mistake you don't want to make.
It still sends few back. It still does a little bit something there. So I mean, we're definitely
aqui o Lapão tá sofrendo bastante pressão. Assiste que bate muito com o Yoyozinho, então o Lap ele acaba dependendo do level 4 dele pra se soltar no jogo.
They're able to control and just put a little bit more pressure onto AP so that they're just not as dominating
o
as they
Akai
were.
puxa a tartaruga.
Já
tá ali, ó, a Vexana vai meter um comba, já tá com bom posicionamento. Comba na Guinevere, na Naninha, aplica um bom dano. O Lapo ali meteu a play, eu nem entendi. O Lapo levou a Vexana, né? Nossa, deixa eu aumentar a tela pra mim, mas o Akai garantiu a tartaruga. Pronto, aumentei a tela aqui pra mim, eu tava assistindo através da tela do gravador, sabe? Eu não me toquei que tá meio pequeno. Mas enfim, mano. É, tartaruga pra um lado, abate pro outro. Pega mais um abate ali agora. Guinevere do competitivo tá forte pouco, hein? Eles fazem Guine Tank, cê é louco, cara. É muito controle. Ainda dá um daninho bom.
Sans could be waiting to throw out the Melina to be able to stop Kaltizi. Now it's just going to come down to ONIC. Like, yeah, you secured kills, but now you're going to have to start working on neutral objectives. We can already see the carry picking up the Thunder Belt, so building a little bit defensive. So it looks like kind of like the tank carries coming out on the side here.
Pai, quis nem saber. O Akai deu o caçar na Rubizinha, prendeu ela na parede, a Ruby apanha horrores, mas não foi finalizada, cara. Faltou dano tanto pro Akai, pro Arlott. Acabou queimando alguns recursos ali. Enfim, olha a Ruby como regenera, hein? Rapaz, Rubezinho, além de não falecer, ainda sobrou pro Arlott. Rubizinha tancou horrores, tá indo base agora, tá de boa. O Arlott acabou se dando mal.
ONIC needs to get back to the roots of that, and we're seeing that in game number 2, and it's already working very well.
I like it. I mean, but ONIC, they don't get tunnel vision, right? You are facing AP BREN. The gold lead's not crazy, even though it's 4-0. Keep the eye on the prize, secure neutral objectives, keep controlling them, keep their speed down, and ONIC can keep controlling this game like this. Now, we are seeing the next turtle take.
Naninha, né, cara? Como a Naninha tá com a clean wave boa, a rotação boa, ela vai aprontar ali pra cima da Cici. É que ela acabou errando a ultimate, mas mesmo assim, dando um combo mais ou menos, ela deu mais de meia barra na Cici. Pô, a Cici deu uma boa jogada ali com a Vexana, deu um daninho bom também. O Akai mete aquela ultimate louca dele, consegue garantir a tartaruga. Deu melhor assim mesmo pra BREN. É, rapaziada, fala pra tu, hein? Desde o Mundial aí que a BREN, né, a BREN, ela transforma o Kairi num player normal, né? A Rubizinha ainda pesca ali o Arlott, provavelmente ele vai ser finalizado. Ou não. Ou sim. Ou será que não? Mandou bem. Boa jogada individual do Arlott. E o Kairi, velho, que pra BREN aí no Mundial, agora o bichão ficou manso. Ficou manso, hein? Já não é aquele cara que a gente fica se achando e tal, tá ligado?
Boots on the Lapu putting on a lot of pressure on the Flap TZ. And again, this goes to show that the EXPs are kind of equal at this point. We're not seeing too much of an early rotation. Turtle now going down to the bottom lane. I feel like the biggest problem ONIC just ran into is that Albert fell, right? Into the little bit of the early game. A tank carry, that's not what you want.
That's definitely not what you want. He's already a level behind Super Marco right now. Super Marco getting the gold from mid and the bot there. Albert does get some shots onto that tower, but it's still nothing major here. I think ONIC needs to understand that he's going to be a critical part of their team. Sans has been able to scale a little bit, 2-0-1, feeling pretty good, hasn't taken a death. Few has taken a death, so mid lane, ONIC is feeling good, but they need to start focusing onto this gold.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not able to stop Super Marco, it could be a little bit of a problem because the Claw's the hardest person to lock down. Now, what I really need to see from the side of ONIC is Sans, man. We need to see that Melina Blitz just absolutely devastate AP, but an engage possibly happening as the Turtle rubber band match is engaged.
We'll see what happens here. Kyrie keeping his angle. Boots with the bravest fighter into the backside on a few once again.
Ui, o Lapão judiou ali, hein? Rapaz, o Lapão aguentou todo mundo ali 2 horas, não faleceu ainda não. Tá de pé ainda, vai falecer agora. F. Nossa. Mas enquanto o Lapão bateu brabo, pesado, gostoso, o time dele bateu fofo. E a BREN devolveu super bem, cara. É, foi todo mundo de base, rapaz. Mas essa BREN é nojenta, fi. Cara, eu pensava que aquela... Olha lá, eu pensava que essa teamfight aí ia dar bom pro... Eu pensei que ia dar bom pra ONIC, viu? Que olha a bagunça que o Lap fez na back. Tancou os caras pra caramba, só que a Vexana, ó, deu uma boa ultimate com o Cloud. Entendeu? O Lapão, mano, segurou os caras bonito, só que mamaram gostoso o combinho de Vexana com o Cloud. E foram pulverizados, mano. Caraca. Eles devem ter pensado assim, na moral, Ray. Pra que agrediu?
been hiding under the blanket for a while now. A lot of teams haven't been focusing her, but AP BREN picks her up every time for a reason. The damage is there, the CC's there. You get an extra hero on the map, and now Keyboy in trouble. The damage is locking on. Kyrie jumps in, looking for the Violent Requiem, looking for Super Marco, but unable to find him, denied, and taken out from Ogwin. The decimation is coming from AP BREN. They're closing in. Boots looking for something, and ONIC seems to be panicking. AP BREN back.
Lorde nasce já já, uma boa diferente farm pra BREN. O dano. Nossa, o dano da ONIC não entra. Tirando a Nana, né? Acho que a carta tá batendo bem fofo. Cara, o Super Marco, que é embaçado de ADC, fi.
And this is where I feel like AP BREN always just flicks the switch, right? They just flick of the switch, right? And now they're going to be able to take this Lord, flick of the switch, and they're going to be able to get this Lord probably uncontested. Now, this time around, I don't know if they have that tanky front line that they are going to need to be able to stop a great siege, though I don't think this Lord's going to make it or break it. It's not enhanced, but again, they don't want to trade their life.
A mobilidade da CC é coisa de louco. Carambolinhas, cara. Pô, a carry que tá muito meta, eu sei que tá todo mundo pegando carry, blá blá blá, mas, véi, os jogos que eu vi só tô vendo carry sofrendo, véi.
AP BREN is gonna make their move, and once they do, it's like they immediately just go from chill to hyper aggressive and just all over. And then once they get to that, it is so hard for any team to break that momentum.
Ai, ai.
Momentum before this series started. G, you said that ONIC could be the team to maybe do that against AP BREN. No one else has been able to do it yet, but right now having a little bit of trouble. AP BREN closing in its grips.
O bom controle do Arlet mandou bem a Rubizinha junto com a Gnevere, mas o Akai devolveu super bem também. O Lapão agora vai se dando mal ali. Eu acho que será que ele consegue recuar? Toma slow, dano, tem passiva, conseguiu recuar. Nana dá aquele suporte. É, vai sobreviver na ONIC, viu? Vou falar pra tu, velho. O Killets ali, Killets. Ele com a caizinha dele bagaçando a Guinea, viu?
Lord will finally go down. AP BREN still not withholding their assault. Super Marco going to get one last shot in onto the inhibitor, and AP BREN lets them breathe for a second.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't count ONIC out just yet, because I mean, they have the damage. The gold lead, though, it's not 10K like it was last time. They still seem to have the tenacity that it takes to fight back. The defense is there. What we, again, like I said, we really need to see the Melina be utilized to stop Kaltizi's heavy spin, and I'm not quite sure why it's not being used, to be honest. Like, I'm seeing so many heavy spins just come out, and Nana's just so good at countering that. Now, we can kind of take a look at some items. Kyrie has one item.
Velho. A BREN é ele bem superior de novo. Nossa, a Rubizinha tomou controle bonito demais, mas, velho, que jogada, né, mano? Que iniciada linda, velho. Ativaram o invisível, foram com tudo pra Rubizinha. A boa jogada do Arlet ali, impedindo a trajetória da Ruby, né? E tudo muito bem feito, né? Vê que Sana jogou a ult dela ali, mas também mais pra fazer front, pra permitirem que eles levassem essa T3 de boa. A ONIC toma uma surra novamente. É, fio, Albertizão na lendora aí tá com nada. O Lapo foi buscar, hein? O Lapo foi buscar a Cici. O Lapo tancou super bem. Nossa. Caralho, o Lapo é o exército de um homem só, velho. Índia ser muito poderosa, não é mesmo? Lapão judiando os caras sozinho, fi. E ainda deu um dano lascado no Cloud. Ele faleceu, mas também impediu que os caras puxassem o Lorde. Não, tá tentando regenerar ali.
Lord is delayed ONIC by some time.
The discipline there by Super Marco to not take that
Tá
kill.
diferente, farm 8k, hein?
Doesn't want to allow the shutdown. Might as well work on securing his stacks. Looks like they might trade and give him the blue buff. I thought I just heard a conceal play, but nothing really comes out of it just yet. Again, looks like AP BREN might be just utilizing this Lord as a bait. No, they've zoned him out. ONIC just gives it up. What in the world? What is going on?
Man. No, it's death if they go in that pit. It's a 10,000 gold deficit. We're very similar to game one where it's like, okay, we need a little bit more time. We need a little bit more time. And this time, we can't make the mistake. We can't let them in. We can't get cut off. They have to watch out.
Vamos ver se vai acontecer igual na partida anterior, galera. Que com a imensa vantagem de farm, Lorde aprimorado, dá GG aí o time da BREN. Vamos ver. E eu aqui já tô quase matando os 2 litros, hein?
Yeah, there's a good utilization of the magic sentry there. I think they're just gonna take as many.
Daqui a pouco minha Alexa pita aqui pra mim botar o lixo pra fora. A Nana meteu-lhe um dano na boca do Cloud ali. E aí deu uma lascada um pouco pra BREN, porque o Cloud vai ter que regenerar na jungle lá, ó. E nisso vai limpando o máximo que pode a ONIC. A Naninha que tá dando um dano cabuloso. O Lapão se reposiciona. A Nana segura muito bem a base.
I've heard Mirko talk about it before. Like, Boots is the XP laner who's just willing to do it. He's willing to die for the team. And whether you think it's a bad play or not, his plays have been helping ONIC out. The last fight that they almost won, Boots was the starter of it, almost able to take out Few. Again, ONIC just needs a little bit more time that when Boots makes those plays happen, the rest of the team can capitalize on it.
Yeah, I mean, give it up to ONIC, though. I mean, they were able to hold that so well, and the Melina Blitz was just constantly taking Super Marco down to like 10% HP. Boots is able to do something.
But he's getting chipped away by Marco.
A Nana tá explodindo um dano, mano. E ó, a Carryzinha, eu queria que ela batesse. Bateu, o Warlord recuou. E vai botando as asinhas de fora aí a ONIC. Entra naquilo que a gente fala, né, rapaziada? Que diferente farm bem grande, faz o lore e tal. Ainda tem uma T3 ali. Ele consegue desenrolar muito bem a BREN, né?
He's okay.
Not able to do too much. I was hoping he was going to make a good pick.
No. I think that's one of the downfalls of the Gwen is like, if you're by yourself, like once you go in, you're sitting there, man. And if you don't hit Super Marco, you're dead. If he doesn't get Few or Super Marco, like you're dead, man. You're just gonna stand there in Violent Requiem and get out damaged, you know?
I was hoping for it. You never know, man. There's always these big plays that can definitely be the turning tides, but again, it comes down to the patience of the team. Sans in the mid lane, kind of taking a look at some of the items here. I mean, Albert's online, Super Marco's online. I feel like the difference here is that Kyle Teasy's 15 and Kyrie's not, having a little bit of trouble in the jungle.
They don't have Albert up here yet either. They might want to try to take this slow. I think ONIC is trying to delay. They look for the play on a Flap Teasy, but he is able to use the Purify and get away there. Flap Teasy still taking some damage.
Agora o Lapão se deu mal. Carry tomou muito dano ali, regenerou bem. Bateu mais ou menos. Nossa, quem tá dando muito dano é a Nana, velho.
Unable to get a kill. They get Few down so low every time, but can't get the finishing hit.
You have to capitalize on some of them, man. That's
tá doido, fi. Cada bumerangada da Nana aí é um míssil.
It's rough. Like, if they were able to just kill one of them, this would be even more breathing room. But now, a full team comp of AP BREN sieging down ONIC once again. 10K gold lead. Can they survive?
Cara, já limparam os min do mid. A Nanda deu uma ult meio ali, não deu tanto dano não, mas deu controle. Novamente limpa ali o Lorde tranquilaço. Boa jogada do Arlet, hein? Meteu um surprise ali, o Claudinho vai aplicando dano bom, mas consegue recuar o time da ONIC. Boa jogada da Rubizinha, finaliza um Arlet. Ih, rapaz. Cara, o Claudão jogando fino ali, mas tá segurando super bem a ONIC, hein? A Rubizinha ainda tem imortal. E deveria ir tancando bem também. Claudinho bateu super bem. Leva todas as torres aí o time da BREN, galera. Mas está bem de pé o time da ONIC. Tranquila, viu?
To be able to possibly take a Lord pit, right? And I think it's going to come down to that. You can see that they have the damage, but it's still a little rough. Maybe if they're able to get a kill on the Kaltizi, maybe if we see some of them split apart, we'll have to find out. But my God, look at that.
No, o daninho da Cici ali pra cima da bichinha.
They need what, like 4 more minutes? They need like 4 more minutes, because we're at AP Bren's at 60k. They're about maxed out on items. ONIC needs to get to that 62k mark where all the items are matched out, and then it's just a battle of skill, right? Where they're not at a 10,000 gold deficit. Taking a look at some of the items, Albert, at least the damage dealers for the side of ONIC are essentially maxed out. Albert's got everything in. We're waiting for Sans to finish that last item. Kyrie sitting pretty far behind right now to only 8,600. He is down 2 items right now, so he still has a while to go before where he needs to be.
Yeah, he was down 3, but was able to pick up that Athena shield, and I think that could attribute to that Pew is just doing so much damage in CC that he's not able to survive. And if they're able to just stay alive long enough, maybe they'll be able to get a set on the Super Marco. That's the only thing I can possibly think would be a saving grace right now for ONIC.
Pew with the pew pew. Pew with the pew pew.
I'm telling you.
All right, next Lord gonna be coming up. Time, the clock is
Bora lá, né, velho?
running.
Mais um
50K
Lord.
gold, still about 8,000 till everybody's maxed out, maybe even more, because Kyrie's 2 hours behind, but ONIC
Kyrie tentou armar o pulo ali, mas se prendeu ele. Ela já gastou o ultimate dela. O Claudinho dá um Dibras ali na Ruby. Tentaram focar na Naninha ali. E o Arlet vai campar na Naninha, hein? Vai fazendo uma excelente front time da BREN e garante o Lorde. Excelente posicionamento da BREN, só que agora eles vão pra cima, hein? A Nana aplica um dano muito bom ali. Boa jogada do Arlet, tenta isolar a Rubizinha, ela flash, se reposiciona, o Claudinho aplica um dano muito bom, mas não o suficiente pra finalizar, né? Gine e Ruby recuam, todo mundo queima ali seus recursos, né, galera? Eu acho que tirando o que é a Cici, só o Cloud, né? O Cloud gastou o batismo dele. E contra ali também, só a Ruby gastou o flash dela, beleza. Novamente temos um Lorde vindo. E vamos ver se agora é GG, né, rapaziada? Apesar da diferença de farm ali, mas nesse momento tá todo mundo full build praticamente. Nossa, a Cici foi pulverizada, mano, mas ela ativou e muito. Boa jogada do Akain, porque tirou a carry da jogada, a carry bateu gostoso ali, a Naninha também. Vão tentando segurar o Nexus vai apanhando, o Lorde tá inteiraço. E por mais que a carry e a Nana estavam batendo muito bem, GG. Então simbora, rapaziada. Bapu. Terceiro conflito, galera, 2 a 0 pra BREN. 2 a 0 acho que easy, viu? Apesar da partida passada a ONIC ter segurado muito, mas a partida foi easy, né, velho? Foi assim, os caras sobrevivendo na base, dando aquela enrolada, né? E mesmo com muita desvantagem, ainda seguraram muito nas duas partidas, mas uma imensa superioridade da BREN, hein, velho? Bans, galera, é baneiro ali o Lapão, ó, deram uma respeitada, Vexana, Joy, o Xborg Novaria, do outro lado Clint, Grocão, Guinevere, Nolan, Matilda, beleza? Os pick ban desse O poder desse setup não, como que é? Desse load não, desse... Enfim, essa aparência, esse lobby, eu não compreendo muito bem esse lobby desse campeonato não. É meio bagunçadinho, mas, velho, vamos pro jogo, né? Vapo. Vap já finalizaram alguém ali, faleceu a Ângela, rapaziada. A Ângelazinha da BREN foi finalizada. O Mi não deu controle, a Ângela bateu. E aí a jogada ficou entre esses dois mesmo. A BREN que tá vindo aí de Ângelazinha, Framão, Baxia, Carry e também a Cici.
Let's get it. First blood onto ONIC. Who got it?
Olha o Brodzão vindo aí.
Okay, the Lily, let's get it. Mid lane slaying. All right, I like it.
We're about to get wild, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling you, last day of the grand finals. Let's
Games of future, baby.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. We can see. Let's take a look at some of the win conditions here, right? So I think really what's coming down is that Ugwin ended up getting taken out, right? Early stage. That's a little rough for an Angela, but not going to be the make it or break it for team comp. I mean, Kyle Teesy's level 3, while we're looking at Kyrie's level 4. So we're already seeing a little bit of a jungle difference for the side of ONIC, which is good, right? I mean, you got 14 seconds to the next turtle, but that's what you want to see into the early stage. And when you're dealing with a Bosch, that's just what you wanna do. You wanna out jungle him because he has a lot of pressure.
Most definitely, but AP BREN not trying to let up. A little bit of dash through, Boots able to get a bit of damage on a flap teasy there, but San's also taking a face full of yo-yos.
Nossa, esse tem as animações tão bonitas, cara. Ali, a tartaruga tava em aberto e era de quem pegar, e quem pegou foi a BREN, né, rapaziada? Convenhamos aí, mano. Oh, o Killets bota o Kairi pra gloob-gloob, hein, mano?
Is that everybody's roughly about even, right? I mean, first turtle, was that going over to the side of ONIC?
First turtle, no, over the side of AP BREN. Over the side of AP
BREN. Okay, so Retri was able to be landed. AP BREN coming out on top there, and I think this is what was happening in the last game, right? Like, it was just a little bit hard for Kyrie to hit these retries, and I'm not quite sure what could be causing that. I mean, AP just able to zone and properly keep them at bay. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be a little bit of a trouble for ONIC. Now, ONIC side, right, they have the sustainability. They have, like you were saying, I mean, they have damage. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to penetrate a Fairmisk Coulter, and I'm not even quite sure if it's going to be able to get past the Angela, right? Like, I just feel like the
também tendo gankas lá, hein?
BREN is thick.
Tem 3 contra 1. O Warlord ainda queima alguns segundinhos. Beleza, ele queimou um tempinho ali, mas foi finalizado. Nisso ainda vai conseguir pegar um bom ouro ali, a Cici, a Ângela. Mas devolve o time da ONIC no bot lane. E quem vai pegar um ourinho é o Brody, hein?
I think this is the switch that gets...
Beleza. O boy é a velocidade que responde às plays, né, rapaziada? Coisa que, lógico, a gente não vai ter numa solo Q jogando duo trio, né? Simplesmente, se acontecesse ali, por exemplo, 3 contra 1 no top lane, rapidamente o time da ONIC devolveu 3 a 1 no bot lane, né? Se fosse numa fila solo do trio, certamente o cara que morreu no XP ia digitando que tá básico, o time dele é um lixo. E certamente o time ficaria respondendo, ai, velho, calma, e ninguém ia responder nenhuma play. Minão taca todo mundo pro alto, muito controle, o Minão vai sendo finalizado. O Warlord vai fazendo uma boa play, ele vai pra lá, ele vai pra cá, ele também dá um daninho bom, legal, aplica bacana. O Fredrin explode bastante dano também, mas não consegue finalizar. Conseguiram agora o Brodzão numa ultimate, conseguiu finalizar ali o Baxia. Rapaz, aplicou bastante play a ONIC, mas persistiu demais a BREN. Angelazinha no suporte, também ali com o Framão.
What the engage entailed here, the Minerals Rage with a flicker definitely secured quite a bit of CC for the side of ONIC, but then the final slash connects, and then of course the torn apart memories just take down AP BREN little by little, and Albert was able to take out Calteezy. I feel like that was the grace that they can get. That's a little bit of the breathing room ONIC needed, and that just slows down the enemy jungle a little bit. And Bashia is able to just jungle crazy. We can kind of take a look at some of the items. Molten cores picked up by both jungles, which are clutch. And then you're also looking at Albert already has the bladed hap, which is just insane.
Terminando na água já, velho. Basicamente 2 litros, mano. Em, sei lá, 1 hora, mano. O bagulho é louco mesmo, hein, doido.
We can already see it's 2v2 in the gold lane. I think the Brody right now is definitely winning against the carry, but I think Super Marco is definitely going to be coming out on top when it comes into the mid to late game, but we'll see. I think it's going to come down to Keyboy just giving that pressure and helping his gold lane.
All right, now both teams still making work. AP BREN has definitely bought some time. You mentioned that, and I think that's exactly what they needed. Super Marco getting plenty of time to scale. Flapteezy already having the War Axe in, not having to go super defensive in the beginning, kind of like what we saw for Boots previously when he had to pick up the Dread armor before he got the War Axe. This means that Flapteezy is going to be able to kind of play the front line, and when you have something like the Fermis paired up with you, that you can just hang out even longer and just continuously harass with that skill, it becomes a problem. But second turtle, now or third turtle now in, we're 6 minutes in. Gold still at an immediate tie. They're looking for Flapteezy here. Albert able to get a couple of free shots here. Keyboy with the
Minão dá uma boa jogada, o Firemis responde super bem. A Carry tá batendo free, o Fredrin tenta fazer uma frontezinha. A Carry tomou um chupisco bom ali, fi. A Angela dá um bom sustain e saiu elas por elas, né? Ninguém faleceu ali, mas o corpo comeu.
Must have just been Flapteezy that was able to give that call out, but it is again going to give up the turret here. From the side of ONIC, they need to keep this pressure going. Like they're able to secure neutral objectives. They've taken a tower already, which I think they just need to continue that focus. And if they can continue that, then AP BREN will be kind of pushed back against the wall. Now, what I think's really coming in on AP BREN's side is that they are kind of lacking a little bit of damage. It could be that we see the Fermis going with a quantum charge, which is a little interesting for a mid lane, I would say. Just looking to be engaging and being in the battle. So I think they're really relying on Super Marco, which again, I mean, he's 1-0-1. He could still get there, but I think it's going to come into the mid to late game.
I mean, if AP BREN gets the time, they will definitely become a problem. A little bit of damage on Flapteezy. A nice knock up, but the heart guard comes in.
Mas foi finalizada ainda, hein? A Angela deu um bom sustain ali pra cima da Cici. Mas o Brodo buscou ainda.
But they still have to be careful, as we always say. AP BREN could make the strike at any moment.
É o cara da pamonha? É o cara da pamonha. Caraca, esses dias eu tava aí só esperando o carro da pamonha passar e não passou. Aí hoje que eu tô aqui agora, eu tô ocupado, esse puto passa. Caraca, né? Eu vou pegar a pamonha, rapaziada. Fui lá e comprei a pamonha, moleque. Ah, tô afim de comer, faz mó cota, tá ligado? Nossa, eu adoro comer bagulho de milho, assim, tipo milho cozido, pamonha. Curau eu não gosto muito, mas tipo sorvete de milho verde, sabe? Esse jogo come um sorvete de milho verde. Mas enfim, hein, dá licença, viu? Pena que não é com queijo, mas tá bom. O Minão novamente tá com todo mundo pro alto, fora mandar o sustain, o Minão mete mais controle. Mas tá faltando dano, hein? 2 vão de base, o Minão falece um lado, agora devolve uns abates pro outro. Dessa vez é porque o Kellet tá falecido. Mas o Kairi garante, o Lorde consegue recuar, mas o time dele faleceu 3, né? O Mi não deu bastante controle, mas enquanto a ultimate do Farama está vigente, quando a ult do Farama tá ativa é osso, né, cara? Mas assim mesmo, ó, o Kairi conseguiu dar-lhe o caçapo lá, a parede foi embora. Pena que a pamonha salgada não tem um queijinho, rapaziada, mas também com o preço do queijo, né, dos bagulho de laticínio, tá osso, né? E a doce eu não sei, eu acho que provavelmente não vai ter queijo também, né? Como o queijo tá caro, né, velho? Isso é louco. Tô falando queijo mesmo, queijo branco.
ONIC wants to go for it. They've lost their whole mid. So their side is honestly a bit more open in a sense.
Uma gameplayzinha de Lily é muito mais bonito, né, velho? Nem compara, né, com uma play de Vexan de Novaria, né, velho?
It's going to be, if they can crack that tier 3, it definitely opens things up, because right now they're still stuck in the bottleneck of rotating around the map. The moment they get that, it gives them a lot more freedom to be the aggressive team that they want to be.
I feel like what's causing a real problem for AP BREN at this point is that Lilia's Ice Queen one. Like, it's just slowing down the team to a crawl, and it's allowing Albert to scale. Now, he did take a death there, and you can kind of see I like this. They're focusing now on the turrets. I mean, there's not much else on the map to kind of focus on, kind of put a little bit of pressure, but you got to remember that you're missing towers as well, so overextending could be a little bit of a problem and something that ONIC can capitalize on. We'll see.
Eu morava em Goiás, velho, que eu cresci no interior de Goiás, rapaziada, até uns 15 anos. Já contei várias vezes na live, né? Mas era muito massa, porque eu morava no interior da cidade, 30 mil habitantes, então. Aí no centro da cidade tem tipo um mercadão, sabe? Que vende ali milho, vende essas coisas. Raiz forte, coisa mais de interior mesmo, farinhas, pimentas. Quando era moleque a gente ia comprar milho assim pra família, a família se reunia no quintal de terra, debaixo do pé de manga, e fazia pamonha, fazia os negócios. Tá bom pra caramba, velho, isso é louco. Mano, um queijo branco era R$5, tá ligado? Isso é louco, mano. Mas lógico, né, mano? Eu sei que era outros tempos, o salário era muito menor, lógico. Eu sei que a inflação e blá blá blá. Eu só tô falando que parecia ser mais acessível, não sei dizer, mano. Mas parecia ser mais acessível, sabe? Não sei, era uma sensação que, meu, a todo momento que passava era carroça, uma carroça que vendia queijo, que vendia leite e tal. Que dava pra comprar queijo, sabe? Sempre quando passava. E tipo, hoje não dá muito não, sabe? E o tamanho do queijo, não é por nada não, mas o preço subiu e o queijo diminuiu. Ai, que bosta.
Keyboy is kind of switching it up a little bit, trying to give Sans a little bit of space. He's going to get pulled back in. Kyrie and Kyle Teasy, foes of their time.
No meu tempo.
Facing off on this Lord again, Ogwin. See, here's the great thing about the Angela, right? Yeah, because she can
partidinha mais equilibrada, né? Angela levando a T2 lá.
Constantly have to worry about that because Angela doesn't really have to be in the 5v5 until she pops the heart guard. ONIC gonna reset the Lord. Kyle Teasy making an engage. Kyrie able to get the time. Out comes the Nether Realm.
Caramba, já gastou ult, hein? Não gastou meio precoce não, cara.
Not yet. Flap TZ does get the heart guard. They're looking for a little bit more damage. ONIC still taking this.
Já gastou ult também, velho.
Their inhibitor in the bot lane. Someone's got to go back and they choose to make it Sans. Kyrie gonna try to make his way in. Kyle TZ there as well. Heart guard gonna be gone. No Nether Realm for the side of AP BREN either. Still several ults for the side of ONIC. I think they need to maybe try to force this now before the clock start ticking and the cooldown.
Até bom a pamonha aqui, viu, rapaziada? Eu só acho que não tá tão salgado assim.
They don't want to force it.
Mas tá bom. O milho tá bem gostoso, tal. Não que vocês queiram saber, né? Aqui em São Paulo, eu moro em Santo André. Tô pra todo lado no centro, assim, tem sempre um carrinho de milho, um carrinho de curau, sabe? Aí vende milho cozido na manteiga, com calabresa.
to reset it or not.
Queijo. Cara, é bom pra caramba, velho. Isso é louco. Coro comendo, mano. O Minão garantiu o Lorde, rapaziada. E o Minão consegue recuar, hein? Tá muito miado, tá amarrado na Cici. Não consegue ir pra trás. Toma o dano. Uma abafada do Forames e é finalizado. Mas pega o Lorde, hein? E é bacana, velho, porque é um milho, mano. Dificilmente você vai ter um mal-estar ou um piriri comendo milho, tá ligado? Então quando você vai em algum evento, assim, sei lá, uma exposição, vai ver um jogo de futebol, sempre bom comer um milhozinho, viu? Não tem erro. É só um milho cozido na água, velho. E sal, sabe? Não tem como dar erro. Porque às vezes você vai comer um bagulho de carne, pá, pode não cair bem, entendeu? Então quando eu vou, por exemplo, esses tempos aí eu fui ver o jogo de São Paulo. Não queria comer espetinho de carne, queria comer na saída, tá ligado? Aí achei um maluco vendendo milho lá no meio da rapaziada, mano. Ô, glória. Pois é. O Lorde ataca, não faz nada, né, rapaziada?
I mean, it's a good game. It's a good game. ONIC clapping back, but AP BREN seems to be winning in the team fight area. They just have to switch it up a little bit and be able to secure some of those neutral objectives. Now, if they can't do that, then ONIC's going to constantly keep being on top. Neither base are pierced yet, and I feel like that is going to be a big factor when one team's able to do that. We do see a little bit of a setup here. Maybe that could be the flick of the switch. You can already see that they are zoning.
Não se esqueça de lavar sua latas de lixo para fora.
Alex, me lembrando de botar o lixo pra fora, mas eu já botei, aproveitei que eu fui comprar pamonha.
So I want to say that maybe them being even or close to AP BREN is the advantage. But here's how good AP BREN is. Even in the beginning of this game when they were down in kills, even when it felt like ONIC was in control of some of the fights, AP BREN still keeps a solid gold lead. Take us through some of these items though.
Yeah, taking a look at some of the items here, really what I'm seeing is Fairmiss just now picking up a Divine Glaive, so a little bit of magic piercing definitely going to be happening on the team fights. Again, Brody now has that Wind of Nature versus that Albert does as well. Sold his boots, so Super Marco sold his boots, picked up the Wind Talker, so that could be one of the biggest plays here. I mean, we're 17 minutes in, not super late game, but being able to pick that up right now is huge. Let's see what they're able to do with it here, Tracked.
All right, Kyrie gonna start off on the Lord. Let it reset.
Lorde vai aprimorar, hein?
Aprimorou.
A batalha final.
Super Marco gonna start to unload Keyboy. Testing the waters too. ONIC very grouped up here. Sans holding the side, and once again we got the signal. Oh, wait a second, a little bit of damage on a Flap Teasy there.
Mesmo jogada daquela hora, a Ângela focando uma T2 lá.
Someone's got to go up and deal with Ogwin, AP BREN.
E a Lily, hein? Mas a Ângela viu que a Lily tá subindo, que ela passou pelo mid.
God, that's annoying. You gotta feel it for ONIC right now.
I mean, if we feel like it's annoying, it's definitely annoying.
Like, someone go deal with Angela again.
Viu a noção de não se isolar? Parecia que o Bax ia bater, mas ele recuou para não se isolar. É, filho. O Warlock pulando para lá, pulando para cá. Ah, que podia falecer, já faleceu. Acho que queimou os recursos muito cedo a BREN, mano. Arlotão fez uma front muito boa.
Look at him, he's still gonna try to go for this. Flap Teasy with him, is AP BREN gonna finally back off? They decide to. ONIC gonna take the second Lord.
What happened there in our break time? ONIC now online. They're putting it to AP. Oh,
Maluco.
look at the final slash. I don't know if they're gonna be able
Esse
to do
controle
anything.
do Warlord é doido demais, né?
TZ getting some nice chip damage. Kyle T's in a little bit of trouble,
Alô,
getting way too locked up.
o Warlord buscou o...
Able to pop the black shoes. ONIC moving in.
O Warlord buscou o Baxter que ele nem viu, mano.
ONIC not trying to go home too early. Got their eyes on the prize here. Lord to make his way down the mid side. ONIC ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super surprised with how much damage they're outputting at this point. I think it's just they're utilizing and baiting quite a bit of the utility behind AP BREN, but the siege is happening.
Boots moving in for the final slash, able to connect onto one. Ogwin goes down, no heart guard for the team, that means. And now, Flap T's in a little bit of trouble as well. Boots
A Cici puxou o Lorde ali, ainda tirou o Imortal do Warlord, mas não resolveu não, velho. GG 2 a 1, sobrevive a ONIC. Uma boa partida bem equilibrada, né? Vapou. Bora lá, rapaziada. O quarto confronto. 2 a 1 BREN. 2 GG Easy da BREN. 1 GG da ONIC amarradinho. E bora lá, hein, velho. Os picks ali. Temos agora um Baratão, uma Matilda, Lilia. Os bans ali em Minão, Vexana, Faramis. O Warlord. Exborg, Novaria, Clintão, Cloud, Joy e Nolan, belezinha? Então, bora pra... Bora. Bora mais uma. E o 1-1, cara.
AP BREN's kind of rotating early with the Ruby, which is a little wild. I guess maybe trying to help clear the mid lane a little bit faster against Lilia, which... a little understandable, but
a Bé ali, ó, pelo lado da BREN.
I know.
Béazinha que não aparece tanto assim no competitivo mais, né? Ela não é um atirador ruim, porém ela não vive no seu melhor momento, né?
The pressure on the side of ONIC, they really want to stop and put pressure onto Super Marco. And I think the Matilda is going to be a play here. The Matilda Bratz combo is just an overall good combo. It allows the jungle to be able to rotate and move fast. And you can already see that Kyrie's putting on the pressure on the enemy jungle. And I mean, Gwen also has the ability to roam and put pressure and to be able to secure jungles. But let's see if paired with the Matilda, they're able to do it quicker on the side of ONIC. Win conditions, what do you think here, Trex?
I mean, win conditions overall, I think both teams scale. Both teams have a pretty a decent late game. You have Albert on the 1-1. I think something that is going to be crucial for the side of ONIC is making sure that Albert has decent space and a decent game. And with the Matilda and with the Barats, they should be able to create ample opportunity for Albert to get something off.
I like it.
Sans taking a little bit of damage here. Ogwin and Few in the mid side. The major thing that everyone's going to have to watch out for is Ogwin with that I'm offended. This guy knows how to make a set when he needs to. He knows how to make a play when he needs to. Keyboy and Sans both locking in the Purify, so it's definitely a solid answer. 1-1 has the built-in Purify. So AP BREN, I think one of their win conditions is going to be kind of layering a lot of their attacks. Everyone not blowing their load at once, kind of taking their time with these team fights.
Yeah. I feel like also Kyrie is going to have to manage those stacks really well, and if AP BREN, disrupts that, it could be a little bit of a problem, but maybe a little bit of an engage.
Keyboy able to get the knock-up onto Ogwin. Sans trying to get out, but not able to. Flap TZ getting the
A
final
Liliazinha
hit.
se deu mal, acho que ela morreu sem mana, se eu não me engano.
Kyrie decides that's it.
Nem eu tô.
Back to your stations.
E desse parte toda a front ali, não tem muito o que fazer não. A Gnevere pega a tartaruga, ela tem um caçar dela ainda, mas beleza, não vai meter o invade não vai dar tempo. Talvez vai invadir o blue, hein. Taca a Ruby na cola. Já tá posicionando ali a Nani, ó. Ó, o Barato dá aquela engolida gostosa. Quem bate é o Baratão, filho. Mas olha o pulo que dá. Roubou o blue e foi embora, hein. A Gnevere ainda roubou. Não sei se ela roubou, ficou com alguém, mas com o Barato não ficou, não.
Okay, but still, that is huge. Yeah, he's walking up by himself. He's like, nah, forget this, man. You ain't gonna steal my win.
A Liliazinha ali que o Baratão roubou. O Homem de Pedra.
Saying no Grand Theft Purple without any consequences. That's a good go by the side of AP. They keep up this pressure. I think just kind of reverting back to what they did in game 1 and 2. And they're just applying heavy pressure. Right now, we're not seeing too many rotations. I mean, it's 4 minutes in with only 1 kill. We can kind of take a look at some of the items. We see Corrosive Scythe being picked up by Albert, which is clutch. Right now, I think...
Lapão aí trocou legal com a Cici. Obrigou ela a gastar o vingança dela.
I don't understand how you heal with a yo-yo, but it's there. Wan, though, struggling a little bit down here against Super Marco.
2 major happening still. It's 1-0 gold at a small deficit for AP BREN, but this is definitely a good spot for them if Super Marco can keep dominating in this top lane and Albert having to slow play this. Like I said, it's going to be a problem. They need Albert to
Rapaz, como uma pamonha enche, velho.
Get some free waves here and be able to get involved in these team fights soon. Oh, a lot of damage on the Keyboy, though. Keyboy might just be able to get away from this. Use the circling eagle, but no.
Finalizar uma
Taken down, and the kill goes into the pocket of Super Marco.
Tomaram.
Super Marco picked up the Blade of Despair because he's doing a lot of damage at this point, right? And now the turtle is probably going to be uncontested because you can already see the side of the map. Bravest fighter on the flat, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. ONIC, I like this. They're responding. They know they can't get the turtle, and this is what I was saying before. Can they take something here?
Oh, AP BREN takes something themselves. Find Sans. Sans 2 deaths now, not at the place we want to see a Lilia. AP BREN feeling confident in themselves. The switch might have been flipped here. I'm wondering how much more aggressive they're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, you can already see they're gonna, you know, Wario this tower right here. Oh no, they backed off. They seen the numbers difference.
Meio perdido o time da ONIC, né? Meio que nada dando certo pra eles.
They just gotta keep this up. Like you were saying, Albert needs to kind of get fed, keep the
mais ou menos
coming. And Sans, I mean, gonna have to stop dying here. They're definitely taking advantage of it. The Matilda not coming into too big of a play yet.
Yeah, definitely being monsters. Kyrie still trying to zone. But he's kind of been on his lonesome lately, and that's because that's because Keyboy has been forced to kind of babysit other areas, move around the map, stay close to Albert. Luckily, Albert hasn't taken a death yet. That's very important.
O Baratão mesmo até o momento teve conflito nenhum praticamente, só quando invadiram o blue dele.
It's going to be hard for Kyrie. He's going to have to watch out for those Molinas, because that could be the game changer in a big retribution battle.
True. And I mean, just the pressure. This is like literally just reliving game 1. Like they are just applying so much pressure on ONIC, and they have.
Nossa, o ult da Cici é engraçado demais, mano. Ela agrou dos malucos como se fosse cachorro, velho. É muito doido, cara.
I mean, they're keeping this left tower, which is it's good, right? Albert just has to get a key play on this Wan, and it can make differences.
And they're just a little too late there. ONIC looks for the play non-stop, but AP BREN is constantly answering Fester. They know them. They know when they're coming. They feel it out. And like you said, they're just eating up at ONIC right now. Kyrie, unable to get his last orange buff. They're losing towers in the bot. Here comes another turtle, last turtle of the game. Keyboy gonna try to make the roundabout, not able to get a knock on to anybody. The bombs come down and Kyle T's able to take a Kyrie, taking huge damage, unable to even finish the Daytona's welcome. The rest of his team not there to help out.
Baratão pulverizado.
A big dino to a tiny dino right there.
Outra partida aí que a BREN envolve a ONIC.
Yeah, AP BREN just controlling the field, turned him into a fossil. ONIC gonna have to figure out a way to bite back. And I think, I mean, they're controlling it.
Pode, né, velho? A BREN implementar uma vantagem tão grande, cara, com tanta certeza nas play, né?
I thought he was going for the quick no scope right there. Almost hit Super Marco, definitely becoming a threat. 2-0 and 1, the 360 no scope. Trying to land down. ONIC
American
now
Sniper Special.
losing out on the mid side as well. AP BREN looking to close the distance here. Can they clear this wave? Ogwin, Poppy, I'm offended, but a lot of damage. On to few, force back Sans, looking for the chase. doesn't have the black shoes, so can't overcommit, but Boots able to get the land down onto Kyle Teasy, but out comes the Beer's Passion, and Kyrie is forced to back off. A nice crossbow of Tang, but still no finishes for ONIC. AP BREN still controlling with a 5K gold lead.
Now, if I was on the side of ONIC right now, I would just, they got to play it tactical at this point, right? Like, Albert's still doing really good. Keyboy hasn't died, but I think he needs to be in a little bit more of a key location to be able to save his team sometimes. Mainly, Sans at this point kind of dying. Taking a look at some of the items, we do see the Demon Hunter sword being picked up by Albert, so could be coming online, but the biggest difference is that Super Marco has the Malefic Roar secured and the Blade of Despair, so the damage is a lot.
Vai com seu pular, pô. Na rua puxou ele. Acho que foi.
Using the guiding wind, Sans able to pot the black
Mas a Matilda repuxa ele.
Oh, snap.
Does everything they can, but ONIC, do they want to try to push this over? Nobody falls in such a clash, and only teams like this could pull something like that off. Flap Teasy still holding down the front line. Kyrie, here comes the conceal play. Watch for Ogwin, watch for Flap. Kyrie taking a lot of damage here.
Ela ficou meio
Ogwin
escura.
gonna get locked up, misses the unoffended. Boots misses the stun. Super Marco looking for an angle.
Vai, mesmo assim garante o Lorde ali. Garantiu o Lorde, é a única que dá uma respirada.
Control the objective, but AP BREN may be able to crack through this tower.
Yeah, I mean, this is good pressure by AP BREN, but ONIC able to secure it. I feel like it's good. Look at Albert.
Esse Lorde é mais pra fazer a única respirada.
Maybe on the flap. Do they attempt it?
They have Keyboy with them. No, they're just going to play a safe, back off. They got the Lord. They stall out a little bit more, but how long can they continue to play the stall game for? AP BREN with a dominating lead right now.
Yeah, and we can already see Super Marco is just coming online. The damage is devastating. When the SMGs collide into any of the team fights, it's just it's too much. Really, right now, if I'm on the side of ONIC, they're doing what I would do, right? Just keep Albert farming, keep him going. He's 1-0-0. Really haven't seen any crossbow tanks coming out just yet, but when they do, that's probably going to devastate AP BREN. So I feel like that's the biggest thing we have to watch out for. We don't see a Wind of Nature being picked up by Super Marco, but we do see it by Albert. So again, this is what I was saying. This could be a turning grace.
Ooh. Still play from Ogwin, not able to find too much. Kyle Teasy dashes under the tower. ONIC still just trying to defend here. Albert playing the off lanes, doing it well, just farming up, still hasn't taken a death. So yes, you're right, that's huge. But AP BREN, man, this is exactly where they want to be. And at this point, they feel comfortable. They're just going to kind of freeze up the lanes a little bit, slow play things, hold their gold lead, and wait for ONIC to step out a little bit too much.
Oh, he missed both shots. I feel like if you had the SMG right there, Sans would have been panicking, but...
I mean, Sans panicked anyways. He's like, black shoes, black shoes. Was not messing around. I mean, I think it was smart if he stayed there. It could have been bad, but either way, like, you see the snipe come out, you're like, oh, I gotta go.
Não, é baratão. Não foi engraçado, né? Essa animação do barato é muito engraçada, né? Doideira, né? O pau tora de um lado, tora do outro, mas assim... troco de nada, né?
Yeah, I mean... I think they're in a little bit of control, right? I mean, right now, ONIC able to, you know, control a little bit of the right lane and the turtle area.
Curioso porque assim são tantas lutas, muitas lutas, mas pouquíssimos abates. É muito louco, né, assim, né?
Utilities available for both sides. Only thing is that Nana does not have that flicker, so could be huge. You can kind of see Pew staying into the back line, trying to keep them at bay. ONIC, what's your play?
I don't know. I mean, they do have control over the pit, but last time I felt like they had a little bit of control over the pit as well. They don't want to step too far out. They can't really take full control because if Boots gets to the other side of the river, he just gets torn apart. If Keyboy steps to the other side of the river, he just gets torn apart. So they kind of have to play this half and half game. Sans in trouble, goes down, a mega kill.
É, fio Sans nessa tá só fome.
ONIC aborts the
E agora lascou.
They're gonna back off. They're gonna give this Lord over. It's 25 seconds till Sans is back up, and AP BREN isn't gonna wait that long.
I mean, it looks like they pulled back a little bit to maybe attack again. Lord low.
Oh, the Molina Blitz does land onto Kyrie. Super Marco able to secure the Lord. Kyle Teasy does use the Retribution as well for it. ONIC unable to make a move.
Keyboy utilized the Purify to stay out of the I'm offended. It could have been really bad for ONIC at that engage. Again, taking a look at some of the items, we still don't see a Wind of Nature being picked up by Super Marco, but the damage is there. There it is. Wind of Nature secured. This could be a tough go here, as we have not seen Albert.
Pelo top ali, o One tá limpando o bot.
He used one, but it didn't do anything.
Did he? Oh,
He used one, but it did not do anything. Oh, nice. I'm offended on Kyrie's going to get knocked up by the Violent Requiem, and he's taken low. Kyrie's still on the map, though. Able to just survive.
Já leva T3, vai limpando o Lorde, ó, o One. Nossa, o One virou xixila, cara, e vai ser finalizado, hein? Ativou o imune, conseguiu recuar. É, na medida do possível, bateu bem o One, né? Conseguiu recuar bem. Pai, eu nem sei se eu nem vi se o Anjo altou na partida, mas
two teams like this can have a battle that long and nobody dies.
That was crazy. Lords barreling down, sustainability from both teams, and that just goes to show like the micro play coming from both sides are just so good. And to be honest, I was suspecting Super Marco to actually be dealing some like critical damage, but ONIC just able to eat it. Oh.
Gonna lose another purple. He sees no buffs this game. Kyle T is always there, the man of Kyrie's nightmares right now. Just retry after retry after retry. Kyrie even has to, he even tried using the retry, but he's still unable to get it. Kyle Teasy and the team showing pure dominance.
Yeah, I mean, right now,
cara, esse daqui é o quarto conflito. Talvez o terceiro jogo tenha sido um pouco mais interessante. Mas... Nossa! Pra que agredir? Sumiu! Deletado o Albert, moleque. Mas nossa partidinha bem amarrada, né? Não foram tão vistosas, né? Nossa, cara, a Bé acabando com o jogo, hein, rapaziada? Pega, fi. O Super Marco é embaçado, hein? Resta o Lapão. Lascou. E GG, rapaziada. E a BREN vence novamente o campeonato de cima da ONIC. Já vai tornando ela ali, como eu posso dizer, freguesinha. E a BREN é embaçadíssima, velho. 2 mundiais, agora ganha aí o campeonato aí do o futuro dos games aí. Embaçadíssima, o bolso tá tinindo. E, velho, 3-1, easy, rapaziada. Easy, eu acho que foram partidas aí, talvez tirando a partida que o ONIC venceu, que foi mais equilibradinha, as outras foram stomp. E eu não gostei, assim, não foi uma das finais mais empolgantes, não. A final do Mundial foi bem louca. Na playlist de Reacts tem aí outras finais mais empolgantes, uma final amarradinha com uma superioridade muito considerável da BREN, né? Mas espero que tenham curtido, galera. Vou ficando por aqui. Até uma próxima aí. Valeu, falou e fui!